welcome to Love and Lust. Love and Lust is a podcast about sex and relationships. Viewing discretion and listening discretion is definitely advised. And today I am so excited. I have been waiting for this day because I haven't had guests on. And my very first guest, I knew who I wanted and I was planning for it. And it's my dear friend, Jamie. Jamie, tell me who you are.
Hey everyone. So my name is Jamie Lene. I am a beauty expert and a skincare extraordinaire. I just launched my own brand as well, a little beauty boutique, and I just love all things beauty and wellness and, everything else that makes us go around.
I love it. You got me into skincare years ago. Like I used to suffer severely from acne my whole
I
entire life,
remember you telling me that.
and you got me on to a wonderful brand, and I still do it. And my acne is just like
Yay, I
so much
love to hear
better.
that.
It's so much better.
I love to hear that.
So you just launched a new brand. Tell us about the brand.
Yes, so it's called the Beauty Lab XO, and it's really just an online boutique. It has a couple products that can just amplify your skincare regimen. It's small right now, but I definitely plan to expand and to continue to expand in the future. I have a lot of big ideas I want to add, but for now it is small, but it just really amplifies your skincare regimen that you already have.
Nice. And what
hmm
skincare tips do you have for women? And then what skincare tips do you have for men?
So I always like to tell people skincare is universal. So a good cleanser, a good exfoliant to slough off that dead skin, and a good moisturizer will get you right.
Yeah.
There is no best for him or her. There's skincare is universal. If you have skin, take those 3 steps and you will see a big
Yeah, you hear
difference.
that, everyone? It's universal. It's not for men, for
Yeah,
women.
right, right.
The products I use are the products you suggested, and they work wonders. I had such a bad
Yay.
acne problem. It really used to hit on my confidence. I would cancel things. I wouldn't go out. Like it was,
Mm,
I had
yeah.
skin picking issues and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
really changed my, I wouldn't say world, but like it really changed my self image, which is
Mhm.
unfortunate, but it
Yeah,
did,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So
And I hear that all the time. So I try to help as much as I can, just helping people feel comfortable in their own skin.
yeah, in your own skin basically.
So,
So how did you
mhm.
come up with the concept for your new brand though? So tell like a young entrepreneur, it's like explain like your process and
So I've been in the beauty industry for probably almost 10 years now. Started off doing hair, hated it. Um, Shout out to my cosmetologists out there though. That takes a passion. So I
Mhm.
fell in love with skincare, or I fell in love with makeup first. I'm also a makeup artist, and then I fell in love with skincare shortly after. And I was like, how can I intertwine these two? Like, I really want makeup artists to have more of that background in skin, because as we age as well, it's really all about maintaining your skin, upkeep of your skin, not piling on more makeup.
Yeah.
So that's really where I fell in love with, that, and just ran from there with it.
Yeah.
Um, I'm really passionate about it. I love to help. I just love helping people. I want to say I love helping women feel confident in their own skin, but I love helping people feel
Yeah.
confident in their own skin.
That's
hmm
awesome. That's awesome. I
Yeah.
know because I've known you for a while. I know you for a while, and then
Yeah, it's been a minute now.
I've seen your beauty, like go through it, and I've seen your growth and everything. And
Mm.
some years ago, because I've been a young entrepreneur. When I was 26, I believe is when I opened up my company, or I started working as a subcontractor for myself, I should say. But someone was like, Anna, you're really different. Like you're a different kind of female. It's like they're like the only female that is like even kind of like similar to you is Jamie. Like with her mind and the way that she's an entrepreneur and the way that she's a go
That
getter.
hustle
And
mentality.
so this was they told me like 4 years ago about this, and I was like, I've always like just like looked and see what you're doing, looked and see what
Yeah,
you're doing.
yeah.
Hey,
No, same, same.
yeah, keeping up with what you're doing because it's an
hmm
inspiration, and there's
hmm hmm
more of us out there. There is probably a good amount of us out there,
For
but
sure.
we always have to uplift each other.
Each
We
other.
as women and even other entrepreneurs. It doesn't even have to be a young entrepreneur. It doesn't have to be a minority entrepreneur, but just uplifting everybody to see your full value and know what you're actually worth and what you can actually bring to the world and
Yeah,
to
I love that.
yourself
I
and to
love that.
yourself. So it was
hmm
always amazing. I love watching you. You encourage me,
Oh,
and I
thank
love
you. I'm happy to
seeing
hear
your
that.
growth and everything like that. So and then you help me like my hair, my makeup. I mean, I guess you could do my second marriage. No, just kidding. You did my third
Definitely. Definitely.
engagement phone.
Yeah.
That's funny. You have to laugh at it.
Sounds like
So
many moons ago now.
oh my god, and it was. I'm not going to say how many years ago, but it was a little bit. It was a little
Yeah.
bit ago.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah. So love and lust, it's mainly about relationships. It started just about relationships, and then the sex part just like really just fell on me. And I try what I'm doing right here is creating an open space for males and for females to talk about their sexuality because or not even just their sexuality, talking about sex. I just want to have a safe place for both parties. A lot of times we separate relationship advice and sex advice. And I don't feel like that should be the case. I feel like women and men should be on the same page about sex communication, relationship
Totally.
communication. So that's the reason why I started this. I tell everyone, I've been on a couple podcasts in the last couple weeks. I was like, I never thought I would be talking about sex. Like the only reason why I became comfortable with talking about it is because of my comedy. I always talk about it just because I'm a type of comedic. I don't like picking on people per se. So then it's
Mhm.
like, okay, well, what can I talk about? Well, the one thing that everyone has in common is sex, and I have a very
Mhm.
vulgar mouth. It's wild. It's cool, you know. So then I just like people were asking me sex questions, and I was like, you know what? Okay, so now I have to do it. I really had to have like a talk with the big guy upstairs about like my
For
whole entire
sure.
sex talk because I was very uncomfortable in some spots, but now I'm like super comfortable. I have anybody that I care about, they're blessing, like they're like, you're doing a good job, you know,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
making sure that women are know that it's okay to talk about sex and talk about
Mhm.
sexuality and talk about orgasms and not having an orgasm and masturbating and all that stuff like that. So that's where this is. But I have some questions for you. I have some
Yes.
questions. I was sitting there reading. So in the morning, I do read a lot. I go to this site called Medium. I'm not plugged. It's just a nice site that has like different stories, short stories, 2 to 3 minutes, maybe 7, 8 minutes, blog style stories
Oh, I love
from different
that.
writers. So you could do like relationship, you could do finance. Those are two subjects that I have. So I read a lot of finance. I read a lot of relationships. And I read an article about when is love a waste of time? And I want to ask
Ooh.
you that.
Huh. When is love a waste of time? I would say when you feel like you are just pouring and pouring and pouring into the other person and you're not getting anything reciprocated, you're not feeling like you're being poured back into,
Yeah.
it may be becoming a waste of time. When you feel like it's more draining than it is, what's the word I'm thinking of? When you feel like it's just draining you more than you're feeling, valued,
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
love is a waste of time. And if you find yourself looking for the bad in everything, like
Yeah.
trying to, catch them on some sketchiness or whatever the case is,
Yeah.
trying to find whatever the problem is, then you're wasting your time
Yeah.
instead of just valuing what you each bring to the table,
Exactly.
what you each bring to one another. That's a deep question though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I, I completely agree with you, and I think that's really like the main thing of when love is a waste of time is when you feel that way and you don't
Mhm.
feel good and you're pouring so much into a situation and you're not getting it reciprocated.
Anything.
And it's
Mhm.
never going to
Mhm.
be a 50-50. There's always going to be someone that's going to give a it should be a little bit more. It shouldn't be something
Yeah.
crazy like a 60-40, but you should be, someone's going to give more, but when you're not feeling valid in your relationship, I think that's when it's a waste of
Yeah.
time.
And I feel like that's true too. Someone's always going to give more, but it should for the most part be even. But on those days when you're lacking and someone
Mm-hmm.
can't give more, that person has to pour more
Yeah.
into. You might need to do a little bit more, be a little bit, extra to compensate.
Yeah.
We all have bad days, you know.
Yeah. I remember one time, one story I had is with one of my exes. I was just like in a really bad mental place. And sometimes that's on you, but at the
Mhm.
same time, your partner should be like, hey, dude, like you need to work on yourself or something's not right. You need to do something else, right? So I probably hadn't slept for a couple days. I was like in a super deep depression. and I wasn't really seeing him that often because their work schedules or whatnot. So I remember I was leaving to go to work in the morning, and then I saw him. I saw him like he's about to pull in at the house or whatever, and I got out my car in the street, and I was like, I'm not okay. I'm just want to let you know I am not okay. And like the passion that he had to like, oh my God, you're not okay, was not even there. It was like, why'd
Mm.
I even stop to tell you something that's going on so deep down inside of me? So
Mhm.
at that moment, that's when I was like,
No, that's not
this
it.
ain't it. This
Yeah, that's not
I
it.
don't know what this
I
is,
have to be
but
able,
this
yeah,
ain't it.
to count on you. If I can't count on myself right now and I'm
Hmm.
feeling, shitty, I have to be able to lean on you.
Yeah.
You know, as my partner, like I got to be able to lean on you.
What's the
Period.
point
And
of a
vice versa.
relationship? Yeah, what's the point? Like if you're just like there for the good times and the good moments, that's not a relationship. That's just a
No.
friendship with maybe some kind of, fucking benefits.
Right.
No pun
Basically, some
intended.
sex in there. Yeah. Right.
So yeah, so I completely agree with that, and I think that if you're wondering about your situation, you're wondering about your relationship with your significant other, and if you're, feeling some kind of way, you should really question the value that you're getting out of there.
For sure. I
And
agree.
people are afraid of being alone, and let me tell you, for someone
Yeah.
that has not been alone for that long, it's okay.
Yeah.
It is okay to be alone. It is okay to be single. It is okay to be alone and single if you are unhappy and
For
not
sure.
getting your needs met at all.
For sure.
What are signs that you are settling for someone?
Ooh. I like to make a list of thing requirements, and I like to, at least more than half of my requirements. I need dang near all my requirements met. If you are not meeting some requirements or some standards that you've set out for yourself, and it can be, minimum requirements, respectful, honest, doesn't have to be necessarily he's a millionaire or whatever the case is,
Yeah.
but if you are not meeting some basic requirements for yourself, then you are settling. If he is,
Yeah.
not being trustworthy, and he's not, you are settling.
Yeah.
If
I
you
think
can't look at him and really be like, we can go somewhere, if you looking at
Yeah.
him like, you mother, I don't even like you
He's a
might
good,
just
yeah.
be settling.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like if you have like the compatibility, if your morals are not aligned, if
Yeah.
like, you're saying like, oh, but you know what, and giving the other person excuses, but it's
Yeah.
something that's super important to you, then you
Mm-hmm.
are definitely settling.
Excusing red flags.
Yeah. And people
No.
they get so scared. There's so many people out there in the world, and they're like, I can't find anybody. Well, change your narrative. Where are you looking?
Yeah.
Don't go someplace else and look someplace else if you are having a problem. Like for instance, when I was dating, because I'm not dating right now, I'm on this like journey for inner peace,
I love it.
and
I love
it's
inner
been
peace.
working out. It's been working out a lot. Like
Good for
was just
you.
like up today, and by 9 o'clock, I had like exercise, eating breakfast. I've done all this, and I have a busy
Establish a little
day.
routine for
Yeah,
yourself.
I have a
Yeah.
very busy day, but I was like, I'm not even stressed out about it. Like I'm at peace with myself.
Mm-hmm. I
And
love it.
it's sometimes it's fun to get distracted and talk to all these people, especially when you're fresh out of a breakup or whatever. But I wasn't having fun anymore, and it was
Mm-hmm.
actually taking away from my
Just
life.
a void filler. Filler.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So then I knew that this summer I was like, I just got to. It's a good time. COVID, already ruined my first real summer single
Right, right. It's okay.
ever, because
2021.
I was 15. But so I was like, you know what? Let me just do this journey for myself, and it's been working out. Like
I love to hear that.
so, like being by yourself, like I was saying, like it's okay. It's
And you
okay.
learn a lot. You learn a
Yeah.
lot when you're by yourself about what you really like and what you don't like. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
When I
mm-hmm.
was fresh out of my divorce, being with somebody for so long, I'm like, wait, do I even like pizza?
Right.
Do I even like movies?
I don't even like pineapple on my pizza, damn it.
Like, what the hell? I don't even like
Mm-hmm.
this shit. Like, what was I
Yeah.
doing all these years? So,
Yeah.
yeah, finding yourself is like the
Especially being a woman, we are so easy to mold into, what
Mm-hmm.
our partner wants. And, sometimes if you're not vigilant or if you're not, cautious of it, then it's easy to almost lose yourself.
Yeah.
So it's important,
Yeah.
yeah, you got to
It
stay
really
with
is.
yourself.
And then especially when you're in a relationship when you're young too, because
Very
you're
true.
growing up
Very just
together.
malleable.
And then sometimes the other person is not, willing to see from both sides. So you compromise yourself by just giving in.
Hmm.
So you really like if you're in a relationship. For me, I was in a relationship very young. If you're in a relationship as a young person, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's times when you need to set out and find yourself. You need to
For sure.
go on vacation by yourself. You need to go, not saying just completely by yourself, but without your significant
With your
other.
friends,
Yeah, with
without
your
your
friends.
significant other.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
you
I
need to
agree.
have that moment of isolation so you can kind of realize who you are. Because if you don't realize
Hmm.
who you are, how is the other person supposed to know who you are? Because
Yeah.
sometimes, even though that other person may not be right for you, you may not be doing something 100% right yourself. So you need to
Facts.
check yourself for your next relationship, for the next person that may be right for you, so you don't bring in that damage from your last relationship, or even just from yourself and stuff that you haven't handled with
Yeah.
yourself as well.
Hmm.
So,
I agree.
yep.
100%.
Yeah. Over last summer, because I have that online magazine, I just like last year, I was not in a good place 100%. So I had to kind of, not kind of, I did. Like I had to stop the magazine because I had too much stuff going on. I
Hmm.
kept my marketing company going because I didn't even take a break after everything that happened. But we had written an article and I got input from a lot of people about guys being thirsty.
Hmm.
You remember that?
Uh-huh.
So I was, instead of being negative, thirsty, because if anyone wants to read that article, it is on my magazine. I will put it below. But what qualities do women find attractive in men? And you can start with the physical too, but I want like some
Okay.
really
Okay.
like a couple good deep ones.
Okay, so I'll start with physical, just a couple. Somebody that takes care of themselves. I love me someone that's in shape, a nice, you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like, when you are in the gym and you're trying to be right physically, there's a chances are that you're probably better mentally as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, you're probably stronger mentally. So definitely got to take care of himself. A nice smile, nice, clothing. Got to have some swag. Gotta have you got to be able to dress.
Oh my
You
God,
got to
I
be able to
love
dress.
swag.
But I love. Let me see. What was the question?
Oh, wait, why can't I
What
even read?
qualities?
Yeah, do women find attractive? What do you find attractive in men?
I love. I love a confident guy. Not arrogant, not an asshole, but confident. Keep it player.
Yeah.
Keep it player. Don't be no overly corny. Keep it cool. Keep it
Yeah.
player. That I feel like that is more attractive than the thirst bucket.
Yeah.
Just kind of keeping it cool. I like of course, I love a respectful man. If you're gonna approach a woman, you can keep it player and be respectful. How you're beautiful, but not be thirsty. Just keeping it player. Your approach. I love an articulate
Yeah.
man. I love a man with a nice vocabulary. Okay, you have me with a nice vocabulary for sure. Um, and a business minded. I love like a more an entrepreneurial minded person.
Yeah.
I just feel like we tend to think more the sky's the limit, and I like that. I want to be able to bounce my crazy ideas off. I want to see a Mozzie drive by and be like, babe, I'm gonna have a Mozzie, and you're gonna be like, yes, babe, you are.
Yeah.
How you gonna afford that? Or
Yeah.
no, like I like,
Big finger.
this,
Yeah.
yeah. And of course, honesty. I
Yeah.
like a religion. I mean, he doesn't have to be super religious, but he has to know God.
Yeah.
That's big to me. And I've been on this spiritual journey. They don't have to be quite as spiritual as me, but at least respect my spirituality and this spiritual journey that I'm on. Hello. Yeah. Yeah. What about yourself? What type of qualities do you like?
So if I go from physical, like I like a good smile. Like
Yeah.
you gotta your teeth,
They gotta be right.
they gotta be right.
They can't
Man.
be
I
doing
got
jumping jacks.
OCD already,
For For
And if
sure.
I'm kissing someone, that means I like you. Because there was a period of time, I'm so open. There was a period of time I wouldn't even kiss guys. Like I was just like my
Yeah.
OCD was so bad. But now I
Yeah.
have to really like you to be able to swap
Yeah.
bacteria.
No, no, I'm like that. Do not kiss me with morning breath. We have the bacteria, it's multiplying. That's all I can think in my head. It's multiplying. Do not brush first. I
Yep.
can feel that.
Yep. So the smile's important. Taking care of yourself. I do like a good swag, but it's weird. Like I like guys with Cuban link diamonds, but then I also like
Uh-huh.
the plain guy too because
For sure.
like
For
like
sure.
it's just like what you are doing, own it. Do
Yeah.
it a
And I think
hundred
that's where the
percent.
confidence comes in, for sure.
Do it a hundred
Mm-hmm.
percent. Um, and then definitely confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely confidence. I'll do like I'm from the South, so I do like that little stereotypical where the guy takes the
Love me a
lead.
southern. Yeah.
The guy
For
takes the
sure.
lead. And the thing is
Mm-hmm.
too, like I've been a boss, for such a long period of time. I have control over everything, my businesses, if I have employees, my other employees, my subcontractors. So at the end of the day, I like to be told what to do.
For
So,
sure. For
but with
sure.
respect, and let me give you an
For
example.
sure.
There's this guy that I was dating, and when we were together, he would take over like the control, but like I was like always like kind of like baiting him, like trying to take the control and see if he can actually do it, and he can actually do it, right?
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
later on, he like, oh, was that okay? Like, is that okay? Was that okay? So it was like respectfully being the man, quote unquote,
Yeah.
but doing it in a way where it was like,
I like that too.
yeah, it was like
I
it
like
was
that too.
really refreshing, really refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like that. I like someone with confidence, and then I do like somebody that has power.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of his power over your life, if it's power over a situation, I like me a guy that has power. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's
I
about
dig that.
yeah, that's my
Dig that.
yeah. I'm the boss in my world, so
Yeah, yeah. And that's true. Like especially, yeah, a lot of women, especially if they're successful in like the corporate world and have their own business and stuff, they want to come home and be the soft one. I don't want to have to be, I want to be the soft one.
but I'm not
Period.
gonna. I don't ever want to do it in a way where it's like, oh, all the pressure's on you as
Right.
well. So I do
For
it in
sure.
a
We're
way
still
where,
partners,
yeah, we're still partners.
but I'm the woman and I
You
have
might
this.
tell me to yell at me and tell me to sit down. I might.
I might just sit down. Okay.
I might
I
shut up
feel
and
that.
sit down.
Right. Right.
Ooh.
No, seriously. Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. So,
I
but I feel
might
like
just sit
you
down.
have to also know that person that you're with, the man, the woman that you're with, and kind of like cater to them because there's other women that don't like that. There's
Mm-hmm.
other women
That's yeah.
that want to actually feel like they're in charge.
Yeah.
So just like cater to that person, know what that person like, and if you love them,
Yeah.
you're gonna make it work.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
okay,
That
so
is true.
what is your best advice on love though? Keeping a relationship fresh and your advice on love.
I would say first and foremost, be friends. Be friends. I've been with my boyfriend about 5 years now, and I can truly say we have a blast together. We will get up and go down to San Diego and just party. Like we are friends. We laugh. We laugh a lot. If there's music on at the bar, we dance. So be friends. And with that, just communication. I mean, that's always a tricky, I don't want to say tricky, but everyone communicates differently, everyone comprehends differently. So it's definitely something that takes a little bit more time to learn. But when it's good, keep that communication, respectful. Stay respectful.
Yeah.
It's hard for me sometimes because I'll be like, "No, fuck you just said," but you gotta you gotta keep that respect. Men want to feel respected, but women want to feel respected as well.
Yeah.
So, but ultimately, men want to feel respected. Period. So keep that respect. Yeah, stay of interest. Stay, keep things alive. Little outfits, whatever you want to do to spice up anything. Do it. But keep it alive.
Yeah.
Like some random places. In the back, you might disappear for a little while to party. keep, you know, keep it alive, keep it
Oh,
fun.
that's where you went to
But
understand.
right, no, girl, that's where we went.
Yeah.
But keep it alive, especially if you want it to last for a long time. Just keep things fun. And I think that friendship is being yourself, and you know yeah, that friendship is number one for me.
Yeah. Because the thing is like if you don't have a friendship, then you guys are just, what are you doing?
Yeah, yeah,
What are you
yeah.
doing? And then I could tell you like almost every single one of my relationships that have ended is because it just shit wasn't fun anymore. It was just
Yeah.
became redundant. Okay, we
Mm-hmm.
see you, we do this, eat, boom,
Yeah.
sex,
And I
boom.
think that ties back into, dating someone with the same mindset as you. Being that we're both entrepreneurs, I feel like we're constantly growing together and evolving together. We'd be bouncing ideas off of each other. Next thing you know, he's executing the new idea and I'm executing my new idea. And now we're, kind of leveling up and getting to that next stage together. So being with someone, like, I can't imagine not being with. I know this was kind of a statement that when I think B. Simone had said it and people were like going, I feel her. I feel it. It's about the mindset. It's not about the hours per se. It is the mindset. I need him to be an entrepreneur. We got to be able to level up together.
Let me stick up for her at this point because what? Here's the thing. I didn't listen to the whole thing. So
me neither.
I can ignorantly be saying certain things wrong. But what I heard and people were roasting her was that she wanted an entrepreneur, not a guy who's not a fiver. Okay.
Correct.
So
Correct.
a couple people asked me afterwards, and I kind of like said something to them, whatever. But my point to them is like, why are you concerned about her anyhow? Like,
basically,
you guys were ever going?
Were you in the running lineup or what?
I just feel like sometimes, and it could be just my perspective, that social media sometimes like goes hard after females.
For sure.
Goes hard. It's like, okay, do you want us to have an ass or no ass? So, do you want us to have tits or no tits? Do you want and it's always talking.
You want a stripper or a doctor?
Bitches. I mean, these. And I'm like, I don't really see other cultures doing this. Like, do you see like a white guy, talking about this Becky, this Karen? No. So like, and I know there's some people here on here listening to this and watching it saying, well, girls do it to the guys too. Well, who's gonna stop it? Mm-hmm. How about we lift each other up? I'm tired of seeing hoes this, bitches this. And then
I agree.
Sometimes it's like
we need to lift these kings and queens need to lift each other up. We're all we got. Yeah. Period.
And I know sometimes it's for comedy, and I think people don't realize that comedians are actually trying to be funny because it's their job. And maybe it's not comedy for everyone. Maybe they're not saying it right. I'm not gonna like go back and forth about who's right or who's wrong, but we got to take social media for what it is. It's supposed to be a fun place, and it's supposed to be a funny joke. Don't take social media and the memes and shit that I post.
Right.
Seriously. Don't take it seriously. That irritates me so much. Like, now this girl has low self-esteem because she has no ass. Now she's getting ass shots. Now you're talking about her because she has ass shots.
Yeah.
Like, it's annoying. But what was my point? Oh, it was Simone. Yeah. Okay, so I heard she was saying that she didn't want a 9-to-5er. Now, I don't know if she really meant 9-to-5er, but in a sense, I understand what she's talking about. Somebody that's just preoccupied with one goal.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I took it. That's all I heard as well, and that's how I took it.
Yeah, so I honestly, at that same point, like, I can't be with someone that has one goal and doesn't want something for themselves. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to you work a 9-to-5, that's great, that's beautiful, but I want to see you do other things for yourself. I want to see you make investments and do other things. And then with the 9-to-5 schedule, I mean, I've dated 9-to-5ers. It did not work. Like, I'm single, so obviously it doesn't work out because I work all day. All day. So sometimes I can't be available when other people are available. So if you want to talk about semantics that way, okay. And then you want to talk about the mindset of a 9-to-5er, because I feel like everybody should want more. Women, we should want more. We should be trying to close that damn wage gap.
Yeah, for sure.
More. Minorities should want more, So that's what I took it. And you took it as the same way, or?
I did.
So I just
like, if I tell you I want to buy an apartment complex, I don't need you being like, how are we gonna do that? We can't do that. No, I need you to be right on board. Like, okay, let's do it. Let's look into it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a mindset. Think bigger.
Yeah.
For sure.
because
For sure.
I'm gonna be working a lot, and I'm gonna be looking over you like, oh, you're off. So what are you doing?
What you doing?
You're in stock trading, investing? Are you on
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace and selling some shit, or
Something. Yeah. No,
you
I
got to
agree.
do something? Especially as minorities, we already start behind.
Right.
We already
Exactly.
start behind. So
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, that's how I took it. Took it. But I just want everyone listening, like, we just gotta be nicer to each other.
I
And
agree.
if
I
you
agree.
are around certain people that are doing certain things, change your narrative, change the people that are around you, because at the end of the day, you are who you are
Who
around.
you hang with? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because all these guys, I hear like, oh, these women are gold diggers or do this. I'm like, who? I don't
First of
even
all, you
know.
ain't got no money. I'm just kidding.
Like, where's your gold, sir? Where's your gold?
Right.
Where the fuck is the gold at? And what kills me too is like, so why do you even have money?
Right.
Like, so don't you
That's
like
what you
guys?
want to
Like,
do.
isn't that what you
You
want?
you want to spend it on your boys
Yeah,
or what? I'm just
they're
kidding.
repeating like shit that rappers are doing, or people that or whatever, and they're
Mm-hmm.
repeating this, and I'm just like, who are these hoes, and who? I mean, maybe you are around it, but if you are around it, change your narrative, because I have a lot of friends, and none of my friends are gold diggers. Most of my friends are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Most of my friends are hustling. They're taking care of their kids. They're taking care of their household. They're taking care of their life. They have money in the bank. Like, who the fuck are you around? I just hate that. I just hate it
I
because
feel you.
it keeps on going. The cycle keeps going and going, and it just
Yeah.
comes to a point like, stop, like,
Mm-hmm.
stop putting people down, stop putting other people down. I have been into some terrible relationships with men, awful relationships. My first boyfriend was literally himself. And I don't say all men do this, all men do
Mm-hmm.
not. So don't say all women do this and all women do, because it's not true.
I agree.
So that's my little rant.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
If I could change one person's mindset, I've done my job.
I've done my job.
That's all I care about. All I care about. So we're gonna put your business, the links below as well.
Yes.
And
Okay.
how have you been doing with COVID? That's what I want to ask you. Like, how have you been doing?
Uh,
And give us some tips on keeping our mental space.
okay. So, I have a couple Instagrams. So my personal is Jamie Lene. And on that one I do a lot of more wellness posts. I'm big into fitness. I love to keep my mind clear. Luckily, thankfully, I have no one in my family's been affected or anything like that. We all still have our jobs. We're all doing really well. We all still have our health. But really just taking the time out and focus on my business, growing my business. My beauty page is at thebeautylab.xo, beauty spelled Beaute. And just growing the brand. I'm really trying not to let it get me down. Really trying to take this time off to really just pause and self-reflect and get all my T's crossed and I's dotted for this next chapter. I came into 2020 like, this is the year, 2020, clear vision, but now I'm like, okay, 2021, this is the year. So this year I'm really just, trying to perfect things so that going into 2021, everything is, finalize whatever you need to do to get your business up and going, do whatever research you need to be doing, so that you know what you're talking about and you can execute effectively. There's no excuse to be going in blind at this point. You got all this time on your hand. You need to be, knowing what you're talking about and knowing what you're doing. The gym I hate that the gyms are closed, but I've been trying to get at-home workouts in. I feel like that really helps with just your mental, your physical. We're at home all day, stuck with ourselves and forcing us to be with ourselves. So it's just really big to take care of yourself and kind of, keep yourself sane in these times,
Yeah.
How about you?
Okay, so I didn't really feel the effects of being isolated until like June.
Okay.
I was like okay until June, but I kept myself busy. I have all these different companies, and I started the podcast. But what's really weird, I feel very blessed because this is the first time in my life, single life, that I'm actually financially stable. And
nice.
I'm like really looking at money differently. Like
differently.
I made enough money to that I needed last month for a couple months, and for some reason, I don't know
Good
why
shit.
this. I don't know why this didn't dawn on me before, but like the peace that I have because of that is just like, why was I putting so much pressure on myself? And I think
Mhm.
just because I have time now to stop, I don't have to go to all these appointments. I don't have to have all these in-person meetings. I don't have to, like it's, my time is a little more, I wouldn't say freer, but I don't have to like see people and, take that time out.
Mhm. Mhm.
I was able to
And if you
really
build it,
assess.
they will come.
Hmm.
You build your, it will
Yeah.
come.
And I had time to assess. I got rid of some accounts that I just did not have the desire to be around, but because it was good money, I was doing it. But that they were not like, they were taking away my joy and my peace. So I got rid of them,
Mhm.
and it's just like now everything's on me. If I'm
Mhm.
unhappy, it's on me.
Mhm.
Like this is my life, my decisions that I'm making. So just like doing that, I'm doing weird things that normal people do, and because I was so caught up in just like making money, I wasn't I didn't do this. Just eating, not doing anything else, but just eating.
Mhm. Yeah.
um Reading a book, just sitting there reading a book, not trying to multitask and do this and do this and rush this and rush this and be on the phone.
Just living in the
It
moment.
One of the biggest thing I have done too is actually become less reliable.
Okay.
So I was always a person that people can call. Hey, Anna, take care of this. Hey, Anna,
Mhm.
can you do this? Hey, Anna. So I'm dropping my whole entire life just to take care of somebody because that's the kind of person that I am. So I have
Mhm.
learned to turn my phone off. I have learned to not respond to everyone's text messages right away. I'll get to you when I feel like I get to you. And if it's
That's
rude,
a
I'm
word.
sorry,
That is a word.
but my mental health is way more important, and I can't talk to you just because you want to talk to me at that moment.
Mhm.
And I've
Mhm.
also had to distance myself from a lot of people. There's a
Mhm.
lot of people I had to distance myself because I don't know, it's just like the way they're handling certain situations. I'm like, I'm not okay with that. And
Yeah.
you can't just be there selfish. We're all going through this, and I'm not going to keep this, hold this against you, but we can't be friends like we were before, or we
Mhm.
can't have that relationship that we once had because I guess, you weren't good for my mental health, and you weren't that important because I haven't seen you or heard from you in months. And,
You stop replying and you see how many
yeah.
people, stop
Hmm.
reaching out or stop whatever.
And
Like, all
I
right.
was having uh I was having like posses with me because of like my newfound like success or whatever. And I'm
Mhm.
invited to all these events in LA, blah, blah, blah. And, with COVID and you can't go out and do stuff, I just like, okay, I see who was around me for what I could bring to them and what I could do for
Yeah,
them.
for
So,
sure.
yeah. So,
Especially in LA. That is very
mm-hmm.
real.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I've had like people
Mhm.
like, oh, can I hang out with, like, I have friends tell me that one of their friends or associates like, oh, I want to hang out with Anna because I'm like, what the hell?
Mhm.
What the hell? I'm nobody, and you're not
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
around me for whatever reason because of that. But yeah, I got rid of all that. So,
Good for you.
but you look
Good for
amazing.
you.
You look
Thank you. So do
glowing. Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Thank
You
you.
look happy. That makes me super happy.
Oh,
That,
thank you.
yeah, I missed you.
I miss you too. I can't wait till the world is, open
Yeah,
and we can, have some
yeah,
drinks or something
yeah.
and catch up.
Yeah,
But
I've seen probably maybe like four people
mhm.
since this whole entire thing, besides people that look like me.
Yeah, yeah. Right. No, seriously. I've been at my boyfriend's house. Like I said, I just went to Taylor's house yesterday.
Yeah,
But me and him,
yeah, it's fun.
my family, my grandma, my mom, and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
it's all
People that
good.
look like me, shit.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm tired of looking at myself at this point.
Honestly, like goodness gracious.
And we are like looking just alike. It's getting like creepy. I have to send you a picture of everybody.
That is
They're
so
like
funny.
6'3",
That
6'4",
is so funny. Grown as hell.
grown as hell, looking like me. And I'm like, I don't even think I'm the best looking person in the city anymore. I don't even have that title no more. It's funny though.
That is
But
funny.
yeah, but thank you for joining me today on Love and
Of
Lust. This was
course.
such a good episode. It's
Thank you
always
for having me. This
refreshing.
was, yes,
Yeah,
this was
we'll
a
have
good
to do this
time.
again. I want to do like
Yes,
an
for sure.
all girl panel. And
Oh my gosh, yes.
what I want to do is I want to have like questions about, is it love or lust? And
Oh
then,
yes,
yeah, so we could do it
that
like,
is so cute. I love it.
drinking, whatever. We just get like a nice girl panel going around,
Yes,
or even like have like guys and we both,
that would be so fun. I need you to set this up ASAP. Okay,
Yeah, we got this. This would be a lot of fun. I'll have to do that because that would be super
that
interesting.
would be a blast
Super interesting. All
for
right,
sure.
Manny, my dear. Thank you for joining
Okay, thank you
me,
so much for
everyone.
having
You're
me.
welcome. Thank you, everyone, for listening to Love and Lust. It's a podcast about sex and relationships, and I will see you next Tuesday. Thank you, everyone.